We've talked about the Oklahoma Sooners addressing their needs in the portal, but Emmett Jones, listen, he can't help himself. He's got to have his hand in the pot too, while other coaches, other coordinators, they're trying to get their guys. Emmett says, hey, let me get my guy. And he goes out there and he takes Deion Burks, one of the highest rated top receivers in the transfer portal. Emmett Jones is just that dude. But guys, before we talk about it, before we dive into it, thank you for tuning into the PG Show, where we talk about all things college football. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, because the Sooners literally just landed another portal commitment. And this team next year going into the SEC, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of doubt about what they're going to be able to do. But the Oklahoma Sooners go out here and land former Purdue wide receiver Deion Burks. You heard me right. Not Deion Sanders, Deion Burks. And last season for Purdue, he had 47 receptions, 629 yards, 7 touchdowns, and he had 4 carries last year for 12 yards, so not a threat out of the backfield, but a guy that definitely Emmett Jones is going to be able to want to use. And with losing Andrell Anthony last year, I think this could be a guy that could come in and be a substitute for what Andrell Anthony is, in case Andrell Anthony doesn't come back and is not as 100% as what we saw him be this year. So I look at Deion Burks Jr. as probably maybe a slot weapon for the Sooners, somebody that they could utilize in the jet sweeps, even though I know y'all don't really want to hear that. I know y'all don't want to hear anything about jet sweeps, but this is a guy that I think he clocks a fast enough speed to be able to be a threat in the backfield in this Oklahoma offense. And additionally, in the slot, I think he's going to be somebody that's going to be a threat there, as well as you are losing Drake Stoops. Now, my question is if you utilize Deion Burks in the slot, what does that mean for guys like Jalil Farouk, who was the first guy that I thought would be the new slot receiver for Oklahoma in the wake of Drake Stoops basically leaving the program because he's too old. And we'll have to see where Drake Stoops is going to go into the NFL. But Deion Burks being one of the top receivers for the Boilermakers, OU fans might be saying, well, so what are we getting from this guy? Well, let me tell you, coming out of high school, he was a 3-star recruit, 4-star recruit in the 247 rankings, 3-star in the composite rankings. But he was a guy that a lot of people looked at coming out of high school saying he's going to be a Power 5 starter right away. He's got good control of his body. He makes tough catches, and he's a guy that can kind of block a little bit on that line of scrimmage coming off things. So you like what you're seeing here, a physical, competitive guy, and you're looking at it saying Emmett Jones, he's going to continue to stack this wide receiver room, and this ain't the only guy you're getting, because you've got Zion Kearney coming in. So far, you still have KJ Daniels committed. Now, you almost wonder if KJ Daniels is going to stay committed, because we've heard rumors about him potentially leaving. And you've got other guys coming in, Ivan Carrion. And then, not to mention, you have the 2023 guys, and one, Jaquez Petaway, who you saw absolutely go out there and just dominate. And you still have guys like that we have expected to hit the portal that haven't, in J.J. Hester, Bunkley Shelton. And so Oklahoma is sitting here with a stacked wide receiver room. And I feel like we're going to get to the point where we were in 2021, where you have so many good wide receivers that you're not going to be able to get enough touches around to all of them. And here in the after the 2024 season, I expect to see several wide receivers hit the portal, right? I think Oklahoma is just going to have guys start to process themselves out. But this is a big win. This is a big pickup for Oklahoma, because Jackson Arnold is going to need all the wins, all of the weapons that he could possibly get on this offense going into the SEC. And he got himself another big-time weapon here through the transfer portal. Emmett Jones is doing everything that he can. And honestly, if you see a guy like Deion Burks come out here and be really successful in this offense and under the stewardship of Emmett Jones, that's only, one, going to help your recruiting down the road, but two, it's going to help get more guys out of the transfer portal. I think you're going to have a lot of guys, kind of like the Bill Bedenbaugh effect, where if Emmett Jones starts to raise guys' draft stock because they come to Oklahoma, and they start to perform really, really well, I think you're going to see it like Bill Beatonbow, where, yeah, you might not win some 5 stars right away, but maybe those guys end up giving Oklahoma a second look down the road because maybe they weren't as developed as they thought they would be at a specific school. They come here and then they're able to get to where they want to be. So Deion Burks is a sophomore, a redshirt sophomore. He'll be going into his redshirt junior year. So you're likely only going to have 1 to 2 years out of Deion Burks, but big win for Oklahoma out of the transfer portal. Sooner Nation, I need to hear from you. So make sure you're joining the discussion, jumping down in the comments below, giving me your thoughts. And if you have not already, make sure you're hitting that like and hitting that subscribe